Okay, so welcome to my video on 5 common mistakes that teachers make when it comes to helping children with contamination OCD. Mistake number 1. Oh, your child is going to have to take the foundation level of a GCSE exams because she hasn't been in school much, so I don't really know what to sort of put it in for, what level. Wrong. Children with contamination OCD often are high achievers and they will do anything within their power to actually get the best grades they can. So what you need to be doing instead is sitting down with parents and the child to discuss what their expectations are and what they can do outside of school to try and support their child with contamination OCD so that they can take the higher level and they can be like my daughter who went on to get all A stars. So that's mistake number 1. Low attendance doesn't always equal low grades. Number 2, please don't draw attention to OCD with children. It just makes them worse because a lot of children who are suffering with contamination OCD keep it very private because OCD is still a very misunderstood illness and is regarded by others as being totally mad, because in some ways it is mad because it's not real. But to a child who's suffering from contamination OCD, and like I said before, they can often be highly intelligent children, but they can still become victim to this invisible bully in their head, and to them it's really, real. So please don't draw attention. Ways you can draw attention to it are things like drawing attention if they've left their books in school, or if they've got the wrong uniform on, or if they've arrived a few minutes late. These can all be signs of something else going on, such as they may have had something go wrong with their compulsions before they come to school, so they've had to wash their uniform and come in a bit later. Or it could be they've left their books in school deliberately because there's some contamination issues, and if they take those books into their home, the whole home becomes contaminated. So that's mistake number 2. Please don't draw attention to the contamination OCD. Number 3 is, although you might think you're helping a child by saying, I tell you what, do you want to wipe down your desk before anybody comes in? Or I've always got a wipe in there if you need one. I'll keep them in the cupboard so nobody can see. Please don't do this. It's well intended, but very often children with contamination OCD will be going through some extreme therapy called exposure therapy. So instead, I recommend that, again, you speak to the parents and the pupil privately and discreetly and actually see how you can actually help the child with contamination OCD without feeding it and accommodating it. Number 4 is, this is one of the things that cause most stress for my child and for us as parents, is when you do things like have school photographs or dress down days. This causes so much anxiety for a child with contamination OCD and for children with other mental health issues for that matter, because some children, for their own reasons, won't want to expose their arms or their legs for whatever reason. With a child with contamination OCD, it can be because they feel that their exposed skin will become contaminated. You could also have a child who's self-harming, who wants to hide scars. You could have a child who's got an eating disorder, who doesn't want to draw attention to the fact that maybe their arms or legs are extremely thin. So again, please, if you're going to do something that's going to make a child feel uncomfortable, then please just give prior warning to parents so we can discreetly then make the decision not to send our child in for that particular time. Okay, and then the last and probably the most important one, although they're all important, is please don't avoid bullying. I say that because bullying is very often what can actually result in a child developing OCD of any sort, in particular contamination OCD. And it's not helpful when you've got teachers and pupils witnessing your child being bullied on a daily basis, either verbally or physically, and nothing being done about it. Because, guess what, sometimes the bullies go in with mental health issues as well. It is a fine balancing act, and I quite understand why it's very difficult for teachers to know what to do. But I do agree bullies need help as well, but so does the child with contamination OCD. And all that will happen if you ignore that bullying or you don't address it in whatever way, then that child with contamination OCD just goes home and does more and more compulsions, and then we'll often get family doing more and more compulsions as well. So always remember the victim as well as the bully, and please try and be diplomatic and have some system in place to help both the bully but the victim as well, so that you don't make contamination OCD worse. Alright, so I hope that's helped. That's my 5 tips on how teachers can help children with contamination OCD without accommodating it, without drawing attention to it, and without making it worse. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to pop up your finger on the bell, because that will notify you then of any more videos I make about contamination OCD and all other forms of OCD as well. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.